When you got into broadcasting baseball, like, did you strive to have that connection? Because like I think for me as a Mets fan, when Gary Cohen or Howie Rose retires, I will be upset. But if one of them left for another team, I would probably be devastated. And that's with me recognizing like the ins and out of the business. But for me, at least, I think that feeling is exclusive to baseball. So like, is that something that is that first of all, is that what makes baseball so special, that unique connection to fans? And is that something that you strived to have, or did you just kind of find that you were able to build that connection once you got into the job?
Yeah, that's a really good and deep question. And I honestly think it started in the minors. Like, first of all, you have the best in the business with the Mets, so I would be devastated if they left too. Like Gary and Howie and Keith and Ronnie are like, they're awesome.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
tremendous.
phenomenal. Like that booth, like you were asking about like creative stuff with the White Sox and all that. Like, this is a small thing, but like by the end of the year last year, I was not allowed to eat on camera because evidently it's grotesque when I eat on camera. So I show up, I'm like a jackal when I'm eating, and some people had a problem with it, even though I was trying to sell the ballpark food, right? So I go to do a Mets game. I go to do a Mets game at Citi Field for Fox, and I'm watching doubleheader game one in my hotel room in Manhattan. And no joke, Keith or Ronnie, one of the two was like, you know what would taste good right now? Shake Shack. And here comes an intern
Yeah.
within like 5 minutes with a whole tray of Shake Shack, and they go to town. And I was like, they get to eat. That's ridiculous. But that's the kind, they have so much freedom. I'm glad you brought them up because like they have so much freedom to do whatever comes into their mind. And the telecast shows it. Like
Yeah.
they just go. They just go. Like in the blowout, when they read the media guide, is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things in history because it's so organic and it's so them and it's so real. But like, I do think, to answer your question, this all started in the minors for me. I did 4 years of AAA baseball with Baltimore Orioles announcer Kevin Brown, who
Hmm.
you may have featured on this here website at some point over the course of this past season. He
Yes.
is a creative genius. I love him dearly. He is one of my best friends in the world. And we used to just kind of, in AAA, not only is there no real holy grail, there is a championship, but nobody wants to be there for it because they want to be in the majors to win the World Series. So, and we had bad AAA teams. Like if you combine the records of the 4 years that we were there, it's real bad. And so we just had to find ways to creatively push each other. And I think by doing that, we saw that fans jumped on that stuff as well. Like Kevin, our first year together, Kevin was right out of college, and we used to play a game called You Been There? No. And so it would be like, okay, here comes, Joe Smith from Santa Rosa, California. Kev, you been there? Nope. Okay, and he's got a 4.26 ERA. And the whole bit was just me asking if he's been there and him saying no, because he had never been anywhere. He was 21 at the time. And every once in a while, we'd have a plot twist, and it would be, you been there? Yes. And it would turn into an amazing bit of radio, or so we thought. But that's the whole premise behind baseball every day is, yeah, the game carries it sometimes, but then other times you just have to use your brain to see where it's going to flow.